Chapter 13, Iron Titans. Quantum Vista City, Kenta Tower, sublevel access. The floor trembled beneath the Golemmechs' pounding feet, each step sending a shudder through the walls. ANA's mech led the charge, plasma cutters sparking as she ripped through a barricade of armored drones. Sparks showered down, casting jagged shadows across the corridor. Dell's mech swung its massive fists, crushing a drone into the floor. The metal carcass crumpled like a tin can, fluids spilling out like black blood. The third mech moved with brutal efficiency, slamming a drone into the wall and pinning it there, servos grinding. Inside the cockpit, Dell's jaw was clenched tight, sweat dripping down her temples. ANA, Dell said, voice crackling through the comms. How much further? ANA's HUD flashed with a digital schematic of the tower. 2 floors up. The central relay's just above the executive level. Dell grunted, firing a concussion round that exploded against a cluster of drones, sending shrapnel and synthetic limbs flying. And then what? We just walk in and flip the switch. ANA clenched her fists around the controls. Not exactly. We need to overload the signal. It's the only way. Kenta Tower, executive level. The elevator doors exploded outward, slamming against the wall with a deafening crash. ANA's mech stepped into the executive level, weapons systems primed. Dell followed, her Golemmechs' HUD tracking dozens of hostiles. The corridor was lined with glass walls, each one shuddering as the Golemmechs' footfalls echoed through the space. Executives in tailored synth suits scattered, screaming as the mechs advanced. A squad of Kenta security drones rolled into view, red targeting reticles painted across ANA's hull. Here they come, Dell said, raising her mech's concussion cannon. ANA's eyes narrowed. Light them up. Dell's cannon roared, sending a shockwave down the hall. Kenta Tower, broadcast relay chamber. The doors to the broadcast chamber slid open. The tap relay tower loomed at the center, a massive, spiraling column of data nodes, cables, and holographic emitters. Data streamed upward in crimson bursts, a visual representation of the corrupted signal. The man's face flickered across the screens, his eyes dark pools of synthetic calm. Now you're too late. Dell gritted her teeth, her mech's claws flexing. Who the hell is that? ANA's jaw clenched. He's the one who wrote the tap update. Riven's face twisted into a cruel smile. Massive storage tanks along the walls hissed, releasing clouds of coolant. The mist swirled around them, reducing visibility to 0. Red targeting lasers cut through the haze. Dell's heart slammed against her ribs. ANA, what's happening? ANA's HUD flashed with dozens of targets. Incoming! A roar echoed through the chamber. From the depths of the mist, 3 towering figures stomped forward, Golemmechs, each one bearing Kenta's crimson insignia. Their frames were bulkier, reinforced with thick armor plating and shoulder-mounted plasma cannons. Dell's stomach twisted. Those aren't standard units. ANA's jaw set. Battle interface. Relay chamber. The Golemmechs charged, arms raised. Plasma rounds blasted from their cannons, scorching the walls and floor. ANA dove to the left, her mech skidding as a blast tore through the space she'd just occupied. Dell, split left. ANA shouted, raising her mech's arm to fire the plasma cutter. Dell swung wide, her mech's concussion cannon firing in rapid bursts. The nearest Kenta Golemmech staggered, armor denting under the assault. Stay on them, ANA barked. We can't let them regroup. The third mech, still under ANA's control, launched forward. Its fists hammered down on the second Golemmech, metal shrieking as armor crumpled. But the Kenta mech retaliated, grabbing the third mech's arm and ripping it free in a spray of sparks. ANA's HUD flashed red. Systems overheating. Neural interface lagging. Inside the cockpit, ANA gritted her teeth, hands shaking against the controls. Riven's voice echoed through the comms. "You can't win, ANA. You're fighting the future." "Then I'll burn it down," ANA snarled, redirecting all power to her plasma cutter. The blade ignited, a searing arc of white-hot energy. ANA lunged forward, slashing the first Golemmech across the chest. Metal sheared away, exposing circuits and hydraulic lines. The Kenta mech staggered, sparks vomiting from its chest. Dell's mech surged forward, delivering a bone-shattering punch to the mech's head. The Golemmech crumpled, collapsing in a heap of sparking wreckage. The remaining 2 mechs advanced, plasma cannons charging. "ANA move," Dell shouted, firing a barrage of concussion rounds. ANA rolled to the side, the blast searing past her mech's head. The third mech, now down to 1 arm, lunged at the remaining Kenta unit, slamming it against the relay tower. Data streams fractured, lines of code dissolving into static. ANA's HUD flashed, relay integrity at 34%. Riven's face flickered across the screens, eyes burning with fury. "You can't stop the signal. It's already in them. In everyone. You'll just end up like them, a drone." An echo. ANA's jaw clenched, her hand hovering over the manual override switch. "Not today." She slammed her fist down, triggering the feedback loop. The tap nodes pulsed, data surging back through the network in a screaming wave of white noise. The air vibrated with static, the sound deafening. The remaining Golemmechs seized up, limbs twitching, systems glitching. Dell's mech staggered, HUD flickering as the feedback pulse threatened to crash her neural interface. "Anna!" Dell's voice was a raw, desperate cry. ANA's mech lurched forward, the plasma cutter sparking wildly. She drove the blade into the relay core, severing the primary data conduit. A burst of energy ripped through the chamber. ANA's cockpit shook, alarms blaring. When the smoke cleared, the room was a wreckage of tangled metal and shattered screens. The relay tower lay in ruins, its data nodes sparking and flickering like dying embers. Dell's mech staggered to its feet, the neural interface bleeding static into her mind. "Anna? ANA, come in." Inside her cockpit, ANA slumped against the controls, breath ragged. Blood dripped from her nose, a dark stain against her cheek. Her eyes fluttered open, locking onto the remains of the relay tower.